Good morning, all of you. Welcome to KGP online classes and welcome to English spoken class. In today's video, we are going to learn how to interrupt politely. Alright, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a fixed few phrases or sentences to learn, and we are going to see that how these phrases we can use in certain situations. Alright, I'll begin my lesson by explaining you that what do we mean by interruption, okay, or interrupt. Let's see. So what we're going to learn? Polite ways to interrupt. The meaning of polite is being kind, okay, sweet, being kind. Next. Okay, so what is the meaning of interrupting someone? To cut in or break the continuous process. Okay, when two people are talking and you want to say something, you cut in between the conversation. You say something in between the conversation if two other people are talking. That is called as interrupting others. Okay, now let's look the meaning of the usage of interruption in a sentence. Monisha interrupted her mother. Himanshi is interrupting her brother's work. So if someone is doing something or someone is talking and you interrupt in between, it is called as interrupting or cutting in the action. Alright, next. Now let's look at that when is it okay to interrupt. Because when we were kids, and even right now, I teach my kids that it is a bad habit when you interrupt someone. Okay, and I'm sure many of the mothers also say to their kids that please do not interrupt while I'm talking to anyone, because this is considered as disturbance, disturbing others. Okay, and that's a bad manner. But that is not always true. You have to interrupt sometimes, and while doing so you can be polite. So let's look at the situations that when we can interrupt. When you don't understand something, suppose you're in a class and the teacher is teaching you, but you don't understand the meaning or the concept, anything, the lesson, so you have to interrupt, right? When you have some important work, you're getting delayed because of another person, because the other person cannot stop talking, so you should interrupt. When you want to add something, when you are in a discussion, you guys are talking about something, and even you think that yes, even I need to say something, at that time also you should interrupt. When one person is taking too long to finish, when you have to go somewhere, you have important thing to say, but the other person cannot stop talking, and then also you should interrupt. Now let's look at the fixed phrases, and we'll also see that in which situations that can be used. Expression 1. I am sorry to interrupt, but I don't understand this. Now let's look at the situation. This is a situation of a classroom. A teacher is teaching and she says, let's complete this exercise. Now the child is saying, I am sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but I don't understand this. Okay, now you repeat after me. I am sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but I don't understand this. So the child is not understanding the concept, so she has to interrupt, right? So this is how she interrupted, in a polite manner. Just imagine if you say, I don't understand this, please explain it again. It would be considered rude, and you should be polite and kind when you're talking to your elders. Okay, now let's look at the next expression. I am sorry to interrupt, but can I just say something here? Or can I just add something? Now let's look at its usage in a situation. In this situation, a teacher is again teaching and the child is explaining what does he mean by sentences? Sentences is a group of now the child is not able to explain the sentences properly. So the teacher says, who can explain sentences better? Now this child, she has something to say. So, but you cannot just interrupt rudely while your classmate is talking, the classmate is saying something. So how can you say it? I'm sorry to interrupt, but can I add something here? Now you repeat after me. I am sorry to interrupt, but can I add something here? Okay, so before explaining, be polite and do interrupt. Now let's look at the next expression. Excuse me, may I please interrupt? Now this is the this is something different than before we have read. In this, it is starting with excuse me. Excuse me, may I please interrupt? Let's look at its usage. Next, in this situation, two women are talking. One says, yes, I am good. Other says, let's go and eat something. Now this child is interrupting, wants to interrupt. How this child is doing that? Excuse me, please. Excuse me, may I please interrupt? You are forgetting your bottle. Okay, when you are interrupting to strangers or a conversation of two unknown people, this is how you can interrupt them. Next, now the third dialogue. Sorry to interrupt, but I would like to say something. Now let's look at its usage in a in a situation. Okay, so in a classroom setting, this is a classroom setting. A group of students are discussing something. The teacher says, discuss in the group, everyone. So that's what they are doing here, and they are discussing about cleanliness. So this child says, cleanliness is important, and now this child feels that even she should add something. So what is she saying? Sorry to interrupt, but I would like to say something about cleanliness. Okay, when you are in a group discussion, we always should respect others' opinion, others' ideas, but we should also speak about our ideas. So this is how you can interrupt politely. Sorry to interrupt, but I would like to say something about cleanliness. Now I'm going to end this video here, and this is the summary. These are all the points that we discussed in our lesson today. I am sorry to interrupt, but you can use any of these sentences. I don't understand this. Can I just say something here? Can I just add something? You just have to learn this, and these you can change according to the different situations. Excuse me, may I please interrupt? Or sorry to interrupt, but I would like to say something here. Okay, so these are the few phrases that I have given you. Learn them and use them in different situations. Okay, thank you.